Okay, what's up, guys? My name is TMossBoss, and I wanted to let you guys know about Anchor. Anchor is an app that you can download to record your podcast in the easiest way ever. Like, it doesn't require a whole lot to know. Like, you just pretty much press record and you just start doing your podcast and stuff. I don't know what you plan on doing, but you plan on doing something. That's why you're here. So, yeah, download Anchor, or you could go to their website, anchor.fm, and yeah, you could do it straight from your computer too. So yeah, it's easy. They distribute everything to they distribute your podcast to every streaming services like out there, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere. Okay, and then you can monetize it, so you're making money off of what you love doing. All right, so people, make sure you do it. Make sure you download Anchor, or you go to their website, anchor.fm. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for listening. Peace. Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I don't remember talking about like crazy, psychotic, psychopath, like any way you could describe like fans that just go above and beyond with being a fan of a person. I don't know if I've talked about that before. I feel like I have, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'll try to add something else into it so it ain't just strictly about crazy fans. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about, but I forgot. Maybe I might remember it as I'm talking about like just psychopath fans, but maybe yeah, that's what I can do. Like just be like no crazy fans in the year of 2020. Just from here on out, like no more crazy fans where they feel like they gotta go to your house, they gotta cry over you, they gotta threaten other people's lives over you. What else have crazy fans done? I mean, crazy fans, like, that's just one thing that I just really hope I don't get, like, as I'm blowing up and stuff on, like, YouTube or any other platform. Like, I just hope that I don't get any crazy fans. Like, would have to say I've had, like, nutcases as fans, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they were a fan. They were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, they did not need to be on my YouTube channel at all. But no, it was like because I remember I was beefing with somebody and then they stopped being a fan of that person and started being a fan of me. I didn't think anything of it. But then they stopped being a fan of me once I didn't make this YouTube video, and then went back to being a fan of that person, and that person was just like, well, you stopped being a fan of me to be a fan of my rival. Like, why would I want you on my channel? So then they stopped being a fan of them, came back, and they were going back and forth, and that person was crazy. Like, nah, they were some of the videos they posted, I was just all like, man, I pray and hope that your parents just, like, I don't know, Spartan kick you across your head or something. Like, I'm not with violence, but with people like that, they need to see some sort of violence in their life. I feel like that they've just had it way too good to the point where they just think that they're invincible. Like, it's people like that where I'm like, nah, like, please stay far away from me. But anyways, no, it's like, it's just some of the stories I've heard in the recent months with fans. Like, I know it was the one YouTuber, David Dobrik, and his friend Natalie. On her, because I think she has like a different name. I don't know. Natalie. I'm calling her Natalie and stuff. But anyways, so them two both had to come out and say like, hey, fans need to stop showing up to our house. Like, it's not cool. It's getting, like, a little scary now. Because they said that they had fans, like, show up to their house, like, in the middle of the night. Like, that to me, I'm like, no, I don't care how much I am of a fan of a person. Like, if I knew where they live, then I would just know where they live. But I'm not going to go and feel like I need to bang on their door 2, 3 in the morning and stuff when these guys, I don't know what their daily schedules are. Like, I'm like, not, and even if I did, like, that's something I just wouldn't do. That's something that I just wouldn't do. There's no reason for me to do something like that. So that's why I like when I see people acting like that over a YouTuber, like that's why I'm like, I just hope I never have any fans like that. I really do, because it's just fans like that, they don't have any boundaries. They don't have any boundaries at all. As many times as you can turn around and say like, hey, like if you see me out in public, then yeah, then that's cool. But if you are traveling to my house in the middle of the night, don't do that. They would hear that and don't listen at all. They still be all like, oh, I know you said you don't want nobody showing, but I just had to see. I'm like, no, you didn't just have to. See, those are the type of people where it's like you want them to stop being a fan of you. I don't care what videos they come out. Like if a person, like if they come to my house in the middle of the night talking about, oh, like, can I get an autograph or a picture? Can I make some videos with you? I will go off on them. I might try to harm that person, because I'm like, I specifically told you don't come to my house and you didn't listen, so therefore I'm like, no, you are not a fan of mine. And it's situations like that. And then you got like obsessive, like the crazy psychotic psychopath fans. The one story I had to say that's probably the craziest fan story that I've ever heard was the YouTuber Gavin Free. He makes like gaming videos and stuff, but anyways, so he and his wife was just at home chilling and things, and this guy broke into their house, was looking for his wife, because I guess his plan was that he was going to kill the YouTuber Gavin and kidnap his wife, and I guess try to have his imagination, like his wild life with her. I don't know, but anyways, Gavin and his wife, I think they said that they hid in a closet, called the cops. The cops had showed up, and they said the guy like ran out in the driveway and shot and killed himself. And I'm like, that is wild. Like, that is crazy, man. Like, it's fans like that where I'm like, no, you are not a fan. Like, you need help. You seriously need help. I feel like even if you're not even doing some wild stuff like that, if you're just showing up to a person's house in the middle of the night and you don't even know who this person is, you're just going based off of what you've seen in a YouTube video, like, no, you need some help. I feel like that's the case. Like, no, you need somebody to talk to. That's what I feel like. If a person came to my house like that in middle of the night talking about like, oh, I'm not crazy, and they're like, no, I'm going to think that you're crazy. Like, I'm going to think that you need some help, or you need to sit down and talk with somebody, like you dealing with some issues in your life, because if not that, then there's no reason for you to show up to this person's house. There's no reason for you at all. And I feel like that it's like when kids, like especially kids, like I feel like, yeah, if it's like some kids doing that, then I feel like the person that really like made it seem like that, oh, it's okay to do that and stuff, like they thought it was cool, was Jake Paul. For those that don't know his situation, so Jake Paul, he had put his address online to where fans can show up to his house and things. And yeah, they were just there like all hours of the night, all hours of the day, screaming, yelling, playing his music, doing everything possible that they could do out in front of his house. And his like neighbors was getting like upset. They were heated because they was just like, yo, we trying to sleep, we trying to go to work in the morning, and we got like 12-year-old kids sitting here singing his song, It's Everyday Bro. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. That's when you get a gun with blanks and you just start blasting in the air. You just walk outside, just start shooting in the air. Like, you call and let all the neighbors know ahead of time, like, hey, look, I'm not going to shoot or kill anybody, but I am going to get a gun with some blanks, and I am going to shoot it in the air. So don't be alarmed, okay? I'm just trying to get rid of these kids so I can go back to sleep. That's it. That's all I want to do, all right? I know they're going to get scared of loud explosions, and then when they see me, a black man, just looking so upset and angry, they're all like, yeah. And then also wear some black Air Forces. I feel like that would definitely put fear in the person's eyes. They're all like, oh, he's out to harm people. That's what he's out to do. But anyways, for those that don't understand, look up Black Air Force memes. Like, you'll see a whole new world for them shoes. But yeah, I'm like, it's like YouTubers, like, I'm like, no, bro, don't publicize that and make it seem like then it's an okay thing. That's not cool. Like, that's not cool at all. Like, to just think that, yeah, and then it's like, then they're gonna go and think like, oh, okay, I could do it with this YouTuber, I could do it with another YouTuber. And it's, no, you can't. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care what other YouTuber, what they're doing. I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. I've said this numerous times. I've ranted about this numerous times. That's why I'm like, I forgot whether I've talked about this or not on my podcast, because like, I just feel like that this is something that people need to hear numerous times. Like, I just, like, it just really upsets me when you hear stories and cases like that, fans showing up to people's houses. And it was just with the recent news of David Dobrik, where it was like people showing up to his house and things, and now he has to move. See, that's where I'm like, no, now I gotta like spend money to get away from people and things. Yeah, that's messed up. That's seriously messed up. And I'm like, yeah, that's just, I don't know why fans, they feel like that they need to act like that over a random person. See, that's when you want to act like a douchebag to people. Like, seriously, and then it's like, if they're liking it and it's like, they're cool, then I'm probably just gonna shoot them with a paintball gun. I'll have a house where I'm like, okay, you can walk on my property, knock on my door, but as soon as you reach those boundaries, I'm letting you know that if you approach my door and I do not know you, I did not give you the go to come to my house. We didn't talk about this beforehand of you coming to my house. Once when I hear those knockings on my door and it's somebody that I don't know, I'm shooting you with a paintball gun multiple times until I see tears, until I see somebody crying. And then if you're into that, then I'm calling the cops and you're getting arrested. So that's why I'm like, nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. If I was David Dobrik, you got a paintball gun, start shooting people. So like, them like kids, full-grown adults, old people, I don't care. If they showed up to your house and you did not want them there, you have every right to treat them how you want to treat them. And that should just give people the sign and letting them know, like, hey, maybe I should stop, like, maybe I shouldn't go to this person's house. Like, and it's like, okay, because it's like, if they're a fan, then they're all like, oh, like, but if I told you, like, it's not even somewhere it's like, oh, like, maybe it's a fan, like, maybe I gotta, like, shed some light on the situation. Like, no, like, if I sat there and came out on the internet and said, like, don't show up to my house, and y'all still showing up to my house and things, scaring my friends, because that's the whole reason why he has to move. His friend Natalie, she's like scared that one of these fans is going to go crazy one day. And I'm like, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. After that Gavin situation, I'm like, yeah, I do not blame her at all. Like, people are crazy. You got fans like that. And I've heard other stories and cases where this guy, he had like, I think he was, I don't know what kind of like housing area he was living at. I don't know whether it was like an apartment or what. But anyways, some people showed up to his house and threw a rock through his like glass door and just shattered the whole door. Then what else? There was this one guy, I think he was out touring or something like that. He was doing something, but a fan showed up to his like ranch like area and things, and his house pretty much. And was like walking around his house, like looking through his windows, like flipping off his house and stuff. Like, I guess doing that because overall he just hated the guy. But I'm like, why? Like, what's the reason? See, that's why I'm like, I just don't understand, like, why people, like, have to, what's, like, if you hate me that much, why would you come to my house? See, that's why I'm like, nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. There's fans, like, then, no, the one story, I remember that YouTuber chased the kid down, because the kid went to the YouTuber's house, threw a glass, bottle, like, at his car, and then tried to run off. YouTuber chased him down, made him clean up every bit of that glass. I'm like, if he cut his hand, I'm like, that's on you. You shouldn't have thrown the glass on my car. So I'm like, if you cut your hands up, then that's all on you. Then I'm like, that's somewhere it's like, you don't even like, oh, then it's like, next time, like, I'm going to tell your parents. No, right then and there, cut up hands, everything, I'm telling your parents. I'm like, they came up to my car, threw a glass bottle at it, and then tried to run. So here we are. They got cut up hands, and my car got scratches on it. So I'm like, yeah, fans like that. I have to say the only funny encounterment that I was just like, okay, that actually was funny, but at the same time, I'm like, that's just so unnecessary and things. But no, the fan, he was like, had some chalk and was like saying like he hates the YouTuber or F this YouTuber or something like that. And the YouTuber like banging on his window and said like, hey, stop that. And the fan, no joke, took an egg out his pocket, threw it at the guy's window and ran. And I'm like, I laughed, but then at the same time, I'm like, why? Like, why do people have to do stuff like that? Like, why you have to show up? Like, if you know you don't like this person, there's no reason for you to show up to their house. And don't get mad if I strike back. Like, no, seriously, I'm that type where I'm like, okay, if you're gonna do something like that, kid or not, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna roundhouse kick you. If I can't, and if my leg can't reach that high at that moment, then I'm just gonna punch you in the throat. Like, I'm doing something to you, alright, in retaliation. Like, I know people are all like, oh, you hit a kid. I'm like, if this kid's on my property, I'm like, no, I'm just gonna be like, I went temporarily insane, so I don't know what you expect from me, but I felt like my life was in danger. They were on my property. They were acting hostile. I had the right to defend myself. So, kid or not, I don't care who they are. It's like you go to a person's property, you expect them to act a certain way. So, I'm like, yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. What other crazy fan stories have I heard? I can't really think of anything else. But no, it's just dumb when fans, they do stuff like that. Like, and then that's the thing. I'm like, there might be a day where this YouTuber, I feel like they're gonna do it to the wrong YouTuber one day. Like, that's something that I shouldn't have to call. That shouldn't be something that I should predict. But there's going to be a day where a YouTuber tells people, like, if you come up to my house, I will shoot you. And sure enough, there's going to be that one dumb fan that's going to be like, oh, he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it. He ain't going to do it. And then goes to his house, starts talking a bunch of trash, and he's going to mess around and get shot. Now, whether he lives or die, like, that's just up to his fate. But that's something where it's like, you should just avoid that. Like, whether you think he's not going to do it or not, there should be no reason for you to go to this person's house. There should be no reason for you at all to go to this person's house. So that's why I'm like, when I encourage my fans, other people's fans, I don't care who is your biggest idol in the world, do not go to their house. Don't. What if they got like a dog, and that dog's like, I've been waiting to attack somebody. Look at that lady, that Deji, that YouTuber, Comedy Shorts Gamer, whatever you guys call him. I don't know. He goes by Deji now. I'm calling him Deji. But so a woman, she wasn't a fan, but still, she was that. I'm like, man, that story. Talking about that story though. So, this woman walked onto his property. His dog didn't know what she was doing. She's just standing there just at his property. And they have a gate. So, if she needed to hand off some mail or say something, she could have waited at that gate. But no, she ended up somehow, I don't know how, but she got like around the gate. And was just sitting there, just standing there on their property. So, their dog comes running up at her. She starts swinging and hitting the dog with some newspapers or something. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, got attacked by the dog, had these bite marks, I think, on her arm and leg. And so this happened like a year and a half ago. I think now like going on 2 years or something. But they had, so the, like British police, I think, they took the dog, keeping the dog for like, yeah, a year and a half. And Deji's been in this like court case trying to fight it and stuff as much as he can. And I guess now they plan on putting the dog down over that incident. I'm like, see, over it, I'm like, Deji, if you need to, bro, move to America. Stuff like that would not happen out here. If that person's on your property and they're not leaving, I don't know the backstory behind why that person was on your property, but if a person's on your property and they acting hostile towards a dog, like, why are you hitting the dog? My thing, I'm like, if I know they got a dog, I'm not like, no, I'm not. And especially what kind of dog is it? A German Shepherd. Yeah, if it's like some German Shepherd, a police dog, this dog is meant to take down people and to leave bruisings and marks and bite marks and all that stuff. Yeah, I am not getting on your property. I'm not getting on your property at all. So I'm like, yeah, it would have been different if they were outside the property, like on a sidewalk or something. No, this was like on his property and things. And so I think he's trying to appeal it, but I'm like, that's so stupid. I'm like, I really hope that they don't put that dog down, because I'm like, that's serious, that's sad. Like, he seemed like he's doing okay, but you really don't know how he is off camera and stuff. Like, I'm like, that's just sad that, something like that has to happen. Like, a person should not be, like, lose their dog. And the lady, and I know, that lady, she needs to come out and say what was her situation. Why was she even on their property in the first place? Like, that's the main question of things. That's the question I would ask her. But, Yeah, I'm like that's just messed up, man. But anyways, yeah. But what else? What else? I don't want to make this because I feel like I've talked about fans before. Let's see what's going on Twitter. Oh yeah, there's like this freaking Twitch. Wait, I got a Facebook notification. Let me see real quick. What is it? Oh, it's just a friend of mine's liking the photo. Yeah, that was the photo. It was my latest Instagram post. I have received 200,000 views on the TikTok video. I'm tripping off of that because I'm like, yo, that's wild. That's seriously wild. I never would have thought that one of my videos on TikTok would have gotten that many views. It's my most viewed video on TikTok, and it's my second most viewed video that I've ever uploaded onto the internet. My most viewed video is like at 300 something thousand views. So I'm like, it's not too far away. I'm like, if that video, and that's just like not even like within a few months. No, when did I upload that video? Now I need to go on TikTok, turn the volume down to avoid copyrights, but no, I need to, look, it's still getting likes and views and stuff. Like, this video is like, yeah, it's my most viewed video. It's the one video that's blown up. I think I uploaded this like last month. Yeah, I upload this video like not even like what in 10 days it will be a full month, but wow, like not even a month and it's at 200,000 views. Like that shit, it'll just be crazy like to see how many views it'll get like towards the end of the year. That's why I'm like I made the goal. Like that video, hopefully, I don't know. I don't think a video like that can get taken down, but I have heard people's like TikTok videos have gotten taken down and stuff, but yeah, I just hope the wrong people don't try to get a hold of that video and they be all like, oh, we took it down because it wasn't. Man, that's one thing I just hate is a person that just they don't want to see any success from you whatsoever and stuff. If I have to like re-upload that video, seriously, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm like, I just got the video saved and everything, but I'm like, still, I don't see why I would have to do that all over again. I'm like, it just wouldn't even make any sense. Like, it's blowing up. Like, let me embrace this moment and stuff. But, anyways, I clicked on this, back to this, like, thing that's trending on Twitter. So, this guy, the hashtag is hashtag Twitch ban Johnny Craig. Now, I clicked on it, and I guess this guy like came out and was talking about, like, I don't know if he came out and talked about it, but overall, like, it got out that he was abusing his girlfriend, and then I think people were calling him a rapist, and then that's when he was all like, oh, people are calling me that, I'm just gonna act like that, and I think they said he attacked his girlfriend. Yeah, I was like, that's wild. Like, I'm like, that's some wild stuff, and I heard this guy, he's like I don't know. I wouldn't really. Not to like. Well, I heard he's short. I heard he's a short person and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like that's something that shouldn't be like brought up. But I'm like still. I'm like if I was his girlfriend, like if you are like relatively the same height or a little. I hope she's taller than him. Cause I'm like what you need to do is pull a Jennifer Lopez on, bro. Like watch that movie enough. And just skip all the. Well, you can watch the movie, but it's at the end. That's like probably my favorite part throughout the whole movie. Like that woman straight stood up for herself. Nah, she learned some kickboxing. It was her ex-husband. She beat that man down. Killed him too. Killed him. I was like, dang. That's like, see, that's the type of like women that we need in this world. Cause I'm like, that women that be all scared, be running down the sidewalk. No, we need these women to like, throw their purses or bags down, roll them sleeves up. And they're all like, all right, put their black Air Forces on, and then they ready to harm people. Like that's what we need. All right, when somebody's messing with them and stuff. But hey, like whatever that girl, I hope she's cool now. This Craig or Johnny Craig guy. Why his name sound like a cartoon character? Like his name sound like he should be like in some like Cartoon Network show or something. I don't know. Johnny Craig don't sound right. It don't roll right. It doesn't sound like it should be a real name. But some of these wait, who is Taylor Dean? Oh, I think she's the one that came out. She came out and talked about this Johnny Craig guy. She came out in the whole video. Huh. I should check it out. And things, but Anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you are purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss, and it will knock $20 off your first purchase. So, that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching and or listening, and peace.